Morning, everybody. Happy Saturday as usual. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me for today's class. Sorry, I kind of stumbled over my words a little bit there. So for today's class, we are going to need one long stick. Okay, so I have a 6-footer with me today. I have the bench behind me and I also have a squat rack. So we're going to be using that as a way to wedge the stick into the wall. So we are going to get into some half kneeling, kind of similar to think of an ab rollout. Going to be something pretty similar to that. We're also going to get into a singular hip drill, okay? And we're also going to be going through a lot of rotational drills here today, okay? We're going to do quite a bit. So we're going to start with some rotational drills, and we're also going to finish with some rotational drills. So it's going to be a fun one today, all right? So I also have a pad too. So this is going to effectively, if you have a pillow or something like an Eric's pad close to you, you may want to actually grab that. We're going to start here. How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. So let's go ahead and start off kneeling here, okay? And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop my right knee down, okay? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with kind of opening up the hip flexors and adding in some rotation here, okay? So first thing, I wanna make sure my back foot, and I'll actually kind of turn to the side here. I wanna make sure my back foot, I want to make sure my big toe is driving into the ground. I want to create that tension and power here, okay? Now, the stick is going to be in line with my belly button. This is going to allow me to open up and rotate side to side. So, bottom of the stick is in line with the ball of my left foot here, okay? I want to drive that back foot down, squeeze this right glute, and tuck my pelvis here, okay? I'm gonna have my hands at roughly about shoulder height, okay? And I'm gonna slightly drive the stick into the floor, about 15 to 20% tension, okay? Now what I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna start rotating side to side. So I'm gonna rotate to my left, and I'm gonna drive the stick to my left. My shoulders are rotating, okay? And I wanna make sure that my hips are staying even. Then I'm gonna rotate to my right. We're getting that rotation through the shoulders, okay? Rotate to the left. Good. Rotate to the right. Make sure you're breathing here. Rotate to the left. Excellent, and rotate to the right. Back to center and ease off. So now I'm gonna face forward. So what we're looking for here, we're getting a little bit of a stretch in hip flexion, but we're also gonna open up that T-spine. You wanna make sure that this front knee isn't moving like this. You wanna try to keep it as stable as possible over that mid toe. So do that same thing. Bottom of the stick is in line with the ball of the front foot here, okay? Back big toes into the floor, drive that back foot into the floor, squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis. Gonna feel that stretch in the front of the hip here. Hands are at shoulder height, okay? Gonna start rotating side to side. So here, breathe, rotate the opposite direction. I'm gonna rotate to my left. Good, rotate to the right. Make sure you breathe. Rotate to the left. Breathe. One more time. Rotate to the right. Arm straight. And rotate to the left. Good. Back to center. And relax. Go ahead and ease off here. So we're going to still stay in this half kneeling position here. Now we're actually going to get into the snake and reach. So typically we do this for a stretch. We're actually going to kind of open up the pec and chest muscles here, okay? And get to open that rib cage a little bit too. So I'm going to switch feet actually, and I'm going to have my left foot out. And again, I'm going to kind of go from the side a little bit here. And so I'm going to move my left foot out a little wide from my back leg here, okay? I'm gonna place the stick on the inside of that left quad, okay? Right where the adductor is. I'm gonna take my right hand, reach up over the top, and I'm gonna grab with my thumb facing down. I wanna grab right above my head here. I'm gonna take this left hand and I'm gonna snake that left shoulder through and bring that stick back. Now the stick, you want it behind that left shoulder blade here. I'm gonna slowly walk my right hand up, reaching down with the left, okay? And this right foot, this back foot, is pushing into the floor lightly, okay? Now what I wanna do here, I just wanna lean forward. I'm gonna shift my hips forward, sink into it. Now as we do that, we're gonna get a big stretch in the chest here. We're gonna slowly ease off. Go back into it again, shift forward. Focus on your breathing. Back off. Now I'm gonna move the bottom of the stick further across my midline here, okay? Keeping the left leg where it's at. Now I'm going to actually shift my weight over to my left. You're gonna feel that chest open up more. Ease off. Let's go into it again. Shift to your left. Good. Ease off. Bring the bottom of the stick back in towards that left leg. Walk your right hand down. Okay. And then come out. Nice and slow. Now we're going to switch sides. So again, I'm going to face forward so you can see what that angle is like from the front. So, back foot extended. Okay. We're going to wiggle this right leg out. Bring the stick on the inside of that right leg, right where mid thigh is. Okay. Left hand is grabbing, thumb down, facing the floor. Snake that right shoulder through. Good. Remember to make sure it's under the shoulder blade. Okay. Now I'm going to slowly walk my left hand up. Okay. And you can grip around like so. Okay. Now I'm going to do from here. I'm going to shift forward. Make sure you breathe. Slowly come out. Excellent. Let's go one more time here. Shift in. Shift forward. Good. Ease off. Try to bring the bottom of the stick across your midline more. Get a bigger stretch. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Lean to your right. Good. Back up. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Lean to your right. Good. Back to center. Bring the bottom of the stick back to its original spot. Walk that left hand back down. Nice and slow. Okay. Slowly come out. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to kick the pad over to the side. And we're going to focus on some rotation. So we're going to do a standing rotational drill. The main point of this drill is to drive the stick forward as we open up, reach back, and rotate. So as we do this, we need to make sure our hips are locked forward. We're not trying to get any rotation from the hips. Hips stay even, okay? So I'll start from the front first. We're gonna start by rotating to my left. So the stick's in my right hand, okay? And I want the bottom of the stick to be about roughly 6 to 8 inches in front of the line of my toes here, okay? I'm gonna have my right hand roughly about shoulder height. So from here, I want to keep that right arm straight. I'm going to lightly drive the stick into the floor, about 15 to 20% tension, just to get a little bit of activation here. And what I'm going to do with my left hand across my mid chest, I'm going to drive my right shoulder forward so the stick reaches forward. And as I do that, my left shoulder goes back, starts to rotate to the left. And I'm going to reach back with that left hand. Make sure you breathe. I'm going to bring that left hand back in, and I'm going to come back to center, okay? Let's do that 2 more times. So drive that stick down, drive that right shoulder forward, open up and rotate to the left, reach back with the left hand. Good. Bring it back in. Excellent. One more time. Reach forward with the right hand. Rotate back with the left. Good. Bring it back to center. Excellent. Now we're going to switch. Okay? So I'll actually turn to the side here. So now to my left hand. Okay? Same thing. Lightly drive the stick down. Okay? Drive that left hand forward. Open up to the right. Reach back. Bring it back in. And rotate back to center. Okay? 2 more. Reach. Back in. 1 more time. Reach that left hand out. Good. Back in and relax. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm actually going to use the bench. Okay. So we're going to get into a spinal extension drill here. This is going to be very similar to, it can be like a lat stretch. So if you have a bench, this is perfect to use, or a chair, something for you to put your elbows on, or a countertop. So I'm going to go to my knees here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to grab the stick and I'm going to go with the palms up grip. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place my elbows on the bench. Okay. And I'm going to have my knees about shoulder width apart, maybe a little wider, whatever's comfortable. And so I'm going to have my elbows bent at 90 degrees. Okay. I'm going to tuck my pelvis just a bit. Okay. So I'm going to lock my low back in place. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to shift my hips back and allow my elbows to come up into an overhead position. Okay. I still want to try to keep those arms at 90 degrees. Breathe. Good. Slowly come out. Excellent. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my spine in extension. So now I'm going to do an anterior tilt a little bit more. Okay. Still keeping those hands or elbows at 90 degrees. I'm going to sit my hips back again. Should be feeling a little bit of a stretch in the lats. And feeling the T-spine open up a bit more. Back up. Excellent. We're going to go one more time. Okay. Do a little bit of a posterior tilt again. Sit the hips back. Really try to get the chest to the floor. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up. Excellent. So, a little bit of a way to open up the T-spine. Also work on some of that lat flexibility here. Okay, so now I'm going to use a squat rack. This is going to be the corner of a wall, so we're going to work on a rotational drill here. So I'm going to have the stick, bottom of the stick, in the corner of the squat rack here, and my right hand is going to be up. Okay. Now in terms of distance, it's going to very much depend on you. So I'm actually going to go with the wide stance here, and I just want to get as wide as whatever's comfortable. Okay. If you're starting to get any pain or pinching, just wiggle those feet in a little bit. Okay. So, what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to keep my right hand straight. The bottom of the stick is in line with the toes of both feet, okay? What I want to do, keeping this right arm straight, I'm going to start to drive my hips back and hinge, okay? I want to keep my legs even. I don't really want to shift here, okay? And what I'm going to do with this left hand, I'm going to reach across and grab the stick, okay, with my thumb facing up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to push down with that left hand, drive it into the corner of the wall. Good. I'm going to ease off. let go with that left hand, and I'm gonna slowly come up, back into that standing position. We're gonna go 2 more here. So, arms straight, drive those hips back, get a good hinge. Reach across with that left hand, thumb facing up. Drive the stick into the ground with the left hand. Get a little more access to some rotation, adding a little bit of tension. 3, 2, 1, good. Let go. Slowly come up. Excellent. I'm actually going to wiggle in a little closer to the wall here because that'll allow for a little bit more rotation. Okay? Last one, arms straight. Hinge those hips back. Good. Reach across and grab with the left hand. Okay? Drive the stick down with the left. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let go with the left. And slowly come back up. Excellent. Let's go to wiggle those feet in. I'm going to switch sides. So I'll do it going this way. So feet are wide again. Okay. All right. Yeah, same thing. Left hand is up high. Okay. Gonna start your hinge back. Good. Reach across with the right hand, thumb facing up towards the ceiling. Drive it down, drive the stick down. 3, 2, 1. Let go with the right hand. Slowly come up. Excellent. Let's go 2 more. Gonna hinge. Drive those hips back. Reach across with the right, grab the stick, drive it into the floor. 3, 2, 1. Let go with the right. Come up nice and slow. Excellent. If you want, wiggle in a little closer to the wall. Okay. Last one. Hinge those hips back. Good. Reach across with the right. Thumb up and drive. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let go with the right hand. Slowly come up. Excellent. Okay, let's wiggle those feet in. Good. Okay. So now what we're going to do here, just going to get a little bit of slap shot. Sorry, the name slipped my mind a little bit. Going to get a little bit of slap shot real quick. Okay, open up those adductors. So, going to have the stick behind my mid back. Let's take a wide stance against whatever's comfortable for you. If you got any pinching, you wiggle those feet in just a little bit. Okay, going to have my toes angled out a bit. Right, sticks behind the mid back. Let's go ahead and pull the stick apart, hinge those hips back, okay? If you're getting a stretch in the hamstrings, that's okay, so am I. It's pretty tight today. So I'm gonna rotate that right end of the stick down towards my center line, pull the stick apart a little bit more, lunge to my right, good, lunge to my left, back to center. I'm gonna slowly come out. Rotate the left end down. Place it. Pull apart. Lunge to the left. Now to the right. Good. Back to center. Come out. Let's try to go a little further. Rotate that right end of the stick further across the midline. Pull apart. Lunge to the right. Good. Lunge to the left. Excellent. Back to center. Slowly come out. Rotate that left end across. Pull apart. lunge to the left, lunge to the right. Excellent. Back to center. Slowly come out. Let's go one more. Try to get as far as you can. Rotate that right hand down. Okay. Pull apart. Lunge to the right. Now I'm going to let go of my right hand and I'm going to reach to 9 o'clock. Good. Place that right hand back down. I'm going to lunge over to the left. I'm going to reach to 3. Place our right hand back on the stick, back to center, slowly come out. Now let's go to the left, rotate that left end down, pull apart, lunge to the left, let go with the left hand, reach to 3. Good, place that left hand back down, lunge to the right, reach to 9. Good. Place that left hand back on the stick. Back to center. Slowly come out. Stand up. And wiggle those feet back in. Awesome. Good. Perfect. So, there's a nice little warm up. Now we're going to get into the core drill. So again, we're going to need the corner of a wall here. I'm going to use a pad to kneel on. Okay? So, I'm going to take the pad. Place it about yay far. So the distance is going to depend, for one, on you, height, also how long the stick is. This is going to depend on quite a few factors. So you can always adjust as you need to adjust for the difficulty of the exercise here. So I'm going to start in a full kneeling position. Okay. What I'm going to do here, I want the stick to be in line with my center line here, okay? Now for me, I can place the top of the stick right on top of my head here, right on top of my forehead effectively. So this is going to be a pretty good distance for me to start. So what I want to do from here, I want to make sure I activate all those anterior tissues. So I'm going to drive both feet into the floor and I'm going to squeeze my glutes, okay? Now my hands, I'm going to have my hands right about face level, okay? Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to make sure I'm keeping tension, pushing the feet to the floor, squeezing the glutes, and I want to keep my rib cage down. I'm going to start to push the stick forward towards the wall and allow my hips to come forward. I'm going to come back up, pushing myself up with the stick, okay? So this is very similar to an ab roll out. So we're going to go again. So still drive the stick into the wall, keep those feet pushing into the floor, squeeze those glutes, shift forward. Keep the rib cage down, come back up. Excellent. Let's go another rep and then we'll actually increase the difficulty. Arms straight, push the feet down, squeeze the glutes. Drive the stick forward. Back up. Good, ease off. Okay, so if I want to make it a little more difficult, I'm actually going to push the pad forward just a little bit. And I'm actually going to get my hands lower. So now my hands are going to be roughly about chest height. Okay, this means that when I go out, now I'm going to get lower to the floor, longer lever. This means it's going to make it more difficult here. So we're going to do 3 more repetitions. We're going to do that same thing. Push the feet into the floor, squeeze the glutes, make sure it's nice and tight. I'm going to shift forward. Good. Back up. Excellent. Let's go a couple more here. Okay. Drive the feet down, squeeze the glutes, ribs down, push the stick forward. Back up. Excellent. Let's go one more time here. Push the feet down, squeeze the glutes. Push forward. Back up. Excellent. Good. Okay. So, we're done with that one. It's a little bit of a different way to work on core stability, but again, with that, you want to make sure that your rib cage does not flare up and out. You have to make sure you keep control of the rib cage, so that pelvic and rib cage alignment, okay? So, now we're gonna do here, we're gonna get into a hip drill. The focus of this is going to be, it's not just gonna be balance, but it's gonna be keeping the hip up the entire time, okay? So, do not let that hip drop. We're not placing the foot back down, okay? So I'm gonna start with the stick in my left hand, okay? I'm gonna have the bottom of the stick in line with the toes, okay? My hand is gonna be roughly about shoulder height, all right? Feet are together. So we're gonna start with the right leg. We're actually not going with the left leg, we're going with the opposite. So I'm gonna drive the stick down, about 50% tension, create that tension. Core tissue should turn on here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring that right knee up, and I'm gonna place my right hand on my knee, and I'm gonna push down. So I'm gonna create some isometric tension here. Good. I'm gonna take my hand off, and I'm gonna move my right hip out to the side. Feel that left glute working. Good. Bring that hip back forward. Place that right hand on top of the knee again. Push up. Good. Bring that right knee out. Good. Bring it back forward. One more time. Push up with the knee. Good. Bring it out. 3, 2, 1. Back forward and down. Excellent. Let's go to switch sides here. So we can actually add our hand in, again, to create a little bit more isometric tension, make that rec fin work a lot harder. It makes the hip flexor complex work. Same thing, okay? Drive the stick down 50%, okay? Keep that grounded leg straight. Left leg up, place hand on top, push. Good. Bring that left leg out. Good. Back forward. Place the left hand on top. Push. Good. Bring that left leg out. Feel that right glute working. Okay, I'm trying to lock that hip into extension here. Back forward. Push up. Good. Move that left leg out. 3, 2, 1. Back forward. Down. Excellent. Good. So now we're going to get into a little bit of a balance drill. So I'm going to take the stick, place it behind my upper back here. Okay, so notice that my hands are out. Okay, don't want to grip. I want to make sure my hands are out flat. Now the main objective of this, because it's going to be a challenge for me too, is to make sure that we're challenging our ankle stability as well as our hip stability. Okay, so we're going to get into a single leg RDL. And so from here, feet are going to be together, okay? And I want to make sure I'm grabbing the ground with my right foot here. Okay, I'm going to start with my right foot. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to lift that left foot off the floor and hover it, okay? And I'm going to slowly start to go into a RDL, driving that left heel back. Want to get as low as I can. Maintain control. Hold. Good. Come back up. Good. And relax. Okay? We're going to do 2 more repetitions here. Hover that left foot. Make sure you're grabbing the ground with that right foot. Stay active. Okay? I want to hinge back, drive that left heel back, as low as you can, hold. Good. Back up. And relax. Okay? We're gonna do one more repetition. What's gonna be a little different here is we're not gonna place the foot back down until we come up. We're gonna start actually working on rotating. Okay? So, last one. Grab the ground with the right foot. Hover that left foot up. Hinge, nice and slow. Keep it controlled. Okay? Hold. Come up. Keep that left foot off the floor. Rotate your shoulders to the left. Good. Back to center. Rotate to the right. Back to center. Rotate to the left one more time. Good. Rotate to the right. Back to center. And relax. Whew. My ankle getting a little lit up there. Okay. So now we're going to switch over to the left. Same cues, okay? Grab the ground with the foot. Hover that right foot off. Going to drive that right heel back. Slowly hinge. Hold. Good. Back up. And relax. Let's get two more here. Okay. Grab the ground with your left foot. Hover that right. Start to hinge. Slow. Under control. Driving that right heel back. Okay. Sink into it. Back up. And relax. Let's go one more time here, okay? Do the same thing, add in those rotations at the end. Grab the ground with the left foot, hover the right, hinge, nice and slow. Drive that right heel back. Come up. Excellent. Rotate to the right first. Hover that right foot. Good. Rotate to the left. Back to center. Rotate to the right. Whoa. Good. Rotate to the left. Back to center. And relax. Good. Okay. So now, like I said before, we're going to work on some rotations at the end here. Okay. So we are going to be on the ground. So again, I'm going to be using a rack. This is going to be my stability, or sorry, anchor here for the stick. So I'm going to move this out a little bit more. We're going to go to the ground here. Now, the position I'm going to be in, I'm going to be on my side. Okay? So I want to make sure that my bottom leg, so I'm on my left side currently. I want to make sure that my bottom leg or my left leg is on top of the stick here. Okay, so I'm laying it on top, right? My right leg is going to be interwoven under the stick. Okay? My left hand is going to be on the stick here, basically right around shoulder height, okay, depending on where you are. So now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to trap my right leg. So I'm going to pull down with the stick, okay? And what I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna reach forward and I'm gonna open up and rotate to my right. Good. Hold and make sure you're breathing. Do not hold your breath. Gonna come back up and over. What I'm gonna do here now, I'm gonna sweep this right arm above. So I'm going to create a circle, sweeping up. Right arm comes all the way down to the hip, and then all the way back up and around. Focus on your breathing. Good. I'm going to open back up this way again. And you should be pulling with tension on that left hand. Okay? They don't want that leg to come up. Back over. Good. We're going to sweep that right hand all the way down to the hip again. Good. Focus on your breathing. And good. We're going to switch sides here. Okay? So, the reason why we're sweeping is at the same time we're getting rotation, we're also simultaneously working on the shoulder blade, getting it to glide along the rib cage. Okay? So, I'm going to be set up in that same position. My right leg is on the top of the stick. Left leg is under on the bottom. Okay? Right hand is roughly about shoulder level. Okay? And again, create that tension. Pull the stick down towards the floor. Trap that left hip. Okay? Start by reaching forward, opening up, and rotating to the left. The objective is not to get the hand to touch the floor, but the shoulder. Breathe, come up and over again. Sweep that left hand. Good. All the way down to the hip. Back up. Control your breathing. Excellent. Open back up. Rotate to the left again. Breathe. Good. Come back up and over. Now sweep that hand again. All the way. Breathe. Excellent. Slowly ease off. Perfect. Okay? It's a good way to work, at least on a lying position, to work on some of that rotation in the spine there. Again, without utilizing the hip. So there's ways to trap the hip to keep it from moving while you're working on a rotational drill. That's probably one of the best ones, okay? Usually we do that with 2 sticks as well, but we're doing a 1 stick today. So, gonna go back to a pad, okay? We're gonna go back to half kneeling, okay? So, what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna I'm using a corner of the squat rack. This is gonna act as an anchor. So I'm gonna go back into that original hip flexor stretch position. However, I'm going to work in and out of the stretch at the same time adding in some rotation. And I'm rotating towards my front leg, okay? So, I'm starting my right knee down, okay? I'm gonna have the bottom of the stick basically right outside of my left leg here, okay? And so what I wanna do from here, back leg's down, back foot is plantar flex, so I'm extending the ankle, okay? And I'm actually gonna wiggle my left foot forward so I can get deeper into the stretch here, okay? So, what I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna have both hands on the stick, roughly about head height, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to drive that back foot down, squeeze the right glute, tuck the pelvis, all those same cues from earlier. I'm going to shift my hips forward, and I'm going to sink into a deep hip flexor stretch. And now I'm going to rotate my shoulders to my left, towards my left leg. Hold. You're going to feel an increased stretch. Going to come back up. I'm going to ease off. Good. Okay. We're going to do this again. Same thing. Drive that back foot down. Squeeze the right glute. Tuck the pelvis. Shift those hips forward. Really sink into that stretch here. Now I'm going to rotate to my left. Good. Slowly come up. Good, and come out. Excellent. Going to switch sides here. So it's a really deep stretch there. Shouldn't hurt. It's a deep stretch, so we don't want to do it too much, right? I want to kind of control it, not go too far. So we're going to switch sides, and I'm actually going to switch my hand as well. My left hand is going to be on top of my right hand here, okay? So again, I'm going to wiggle that right foot forward. Hands are roughly about head height, okay? Bottom of the stick on the outside of the right foot, right leg. So I'm doing that same thing. Drive that back foot down, squeeze the left glute, tuck the pelvis, shift forward, sink into that hip flexor stretch, and I'm going to rotate to the right. Good. Bring that stick down. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back up. Slowly ease off. Excellent. Okay, we're going to do that again. Draw that back foot down, squeeze the left glute, tuck that pelvis, shift those hips forward, sink into that stretch, rotate to the right. Three, 2, 1. Slowly come back up. Ease off, nice and slow. Excellent. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to focus on stretching out that hip flexor. Not hip flexor. Hamstring. Sorry about that. So I'm going to move the bench over. This is going to act as a chair. Okay? I'm going to place, ideally you'd want to have this a little bit higher just so you can get access deeper into the hamstring. But I'm going to have my heel into the bench here, okay? And I want to make sure that this is my left foot. I want to make sure that this knee stays slightly bent. I want to keep a soft knee. Don't want to lock it. You're not going to get that same stretch. You're not going to access those same tissues. I'm going to have the stick roughly about in line with my mid-thigh here, okay? So I'm going to grip the stick roughly about waist height, okay? I want to make sure my torso is facing forward best I can. I'm going to take my right hand, reach up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor, okay? What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to start to drive my hips away from the stick and at the same time extend those hands out. I want to dorsiflex that ankle. This is going to allow us to access again the hamstrings. Slowly ease off. One more time on the same side. Rotate that stick a little bit. Same thing, drive the hips away, extend those hands out. 3, 2, 1. Back up. Ease off. Switch sides. Okay? Move this back. Okay. We do that same thing. Okay? Heel on the bench. Okay? Sticks in the middle. We're going to take that left hand, reach up over the top, thumb facing down. Okay? Drive the hips away. Extend those hands out. Keep that right knee soft. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Rotate the stick a bit. Okay. Last one. Drive the hips away. Extend those hands out. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come out. And relax. Awesome. And that concludes today's stick mobility class. Thank you everybody for joining me for today's class. Hope everybody enjoyed it and had a good one. I will catch you guys next week. Have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy yourselves out there. Stay safe.